Oh, doesn't that just hit you whole?
It was all a dream, baby. What's up?
Hey, Luke Taylor here, Full Court Press Podcast. Hey, college basketball experience with my guy Sammy D, and we are juicy.
Juicy, baby.
Juicy.
What's going on?
You know, I learned something today. Well, I also learned two things today. First, I'm a little bit concerned with your son. He really thinks I'm a bear, which I think is awesome. And you got pulled over by the school that said that he has a friend named Luke that's a bear feature, right? Or bear character, bear person, bear like.
Yes. He's very He is very. He thinks you're a bear. I'll put it that way. You know.
Rawr!
Yeah.
Rawr!
Yeah. So you kind of are a bear. You know, it's all good. Though.
Yeah, you know what else I learned today was that one of my kids, Sam, who actually, obviously your name's Sam and my son's name's Sam. Actually, my son was not named after you; he was actually named after Samuel L. Jackson. I just made that up. But he told me lifesavers, you can't choke swallowing a lifesaver because of the hole.
I don't know about that stat, right? I'm gonna fact check little Sammy. It's all good.
Yeah.
We've got an episode coming up though. This is
it's Enrique Freeman was named to the Karl Malone watch list, top 5, which I think is big up to Enrique, a former guest and supporter of the Full Court Press Podcast.
Yeah, congrats, Reek.
Yeah, congrats. So what's going on, man? It's that time of year. It's just that time of year, man.
Man, this is, we've actually talked all season just how wild college basketball is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we're getting into the deep of it. There's all these teams are on the national spotlight. This is where kind of the kind of everyday fan turns up to start watching their team or their school play. And the guest we have today, he's one of the hottest guys in the country right now. Made national news, was like a week and a half ago, with a half court shot. And
we were there.
We were there in the flesh, man. But Jarod Lucas, from Nevada. Nevada's 25-6. They're like I don't know why they're not getting the attention right now.
So
all season for that matter,
but I think but that's kind of like the Steve Alford kind of Bobby Knight mantra. I've always felt that. Steve Alford has won wherever he's gone, whether he's played or coached.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's always like, I don't know, an asterisk, but like that team, he said, the big thing that he's noticed, and I think that really fires him up, is the simple fact that, and okay. So
you're having way too much fun with this music.
I know.
A little in the house, man.
DJ LT, respect. And you know what? But that's actually a good stance to be on, because now you're playing pissed off and a chip on your shoulder. And they're winning without one of their best players, Keenan Blackshear, who's just a stud, 6'5" point guard.
Yeah. They're a team that, I think is going to make a pretty nice run in the NCAA tournament. I hope they don't slow down, as they're
not going to
off. They're playing their best basketball at the end of the season. And as a college basketball fan, that's what I love watching those teams.
Why is it every time you got to say as a college basketball fan?
Because I'm a college basketball fan. I'm not a player. I just love, it's the greatest game ever.
It is. It's
just so fun to watch. And watching guys like Jarod Lucas and, Keenan Blackshear and like some of these other guys in the Mountain
Nick Davidson.
Pleasure to interview. Mountain West is like the underdog story of the year as a conference.
Yeah.
In my opinion. They're finally getting the respect they deserve. But it's a little disappointing Nevada hasn't made more headlines, just with
I would agree
what they're doing in the Mountain West. They've won 6 games in a row. Boise State was playing the best basketball of their season, and then Nevada just went to Boise and beat them by 10 on senior night. This team's on fire, and Jarod Lucas is the leader of that team. And it's a fun interview coming up here.
Yeah, and he is probably, and I said this to them, and I said it to you too. He has probably got one of the quickest releases I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just like, he just fires up. And the fact that he almost averaged 40 points a game as a high school senior, I mean, and he had 11.3 rebounds a game. Can you imagine how many, he probably follows his shot, which you always teach the young kids, like you shoot, you follow. I hate the shooting and standing, but can you imagine if he made more shots, he would have had less rebounds?
True.
Technically.
True. I mean, he's probably getting rebounds from his teammates, which he does give a shout out. His high school teammates, which is awesome. I love seeing that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that quick shot that you're mentioning, I mean, I'm a big fan of just like his IQ on the court.
Oh my God.
I mentioned, like, you see things when you're in person watching some of these guys, and he's one of them that I've seen in person this year now, where I'm like, his basketball IQ is just off the charts.
Yep.
Like, he is where he should be at, any given,
pretty much every time. Yep.
Like, he knows how to, I mean, he has like this sense of maturity on the court, where it's like, he knows how to talk to the refs. He knows how to play with the crowd, against the crowd. Like, it's, again, I mean, that's why I like this game so much, is watching guys like him.
Can I ask you a question? Because you watch a lot more Mountain West, because it's past my bedtime. Do they ever dunk in a game?
No. Not as much compared to the other conferences. And that, one of the reasons I love the Mountain West is, like, they play this like old school style basketball, but like with the energy of today's game.
Yeah.
And
good analogy. I like that.
But like, you look at who the coaches are in the Mountain West, and that's why, right?
Yeah, because none of them can dunk.
I mean,
can Steve Alford dunk? We got to ask him that.
Yeah, we're getting him on the pod. We will ask him that. But
yeah,
no, it's just good fundamental basketball. But it's like they still have like today's energy, today's swagger, things like that. So.
Yeah, it's great basketball. So don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. You can see it on the bottom. But if you're listening, you love us, you like us, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can give us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it, because it's going to get us to more places and get us to more hoop fans. So from Sammy and I, let's get into the Jarod Lucas interview with the Nevada Wolfpack star.
Let's get it, LT.
All right, Sammy. I told him off air, he is probably one of the fastest releases I've ever seen in the last 2 weeks.
Dude's
we got a guy.
Points, man. Yeah.
What's that?
Dude's putting up some points this year.
Buckets, points, whatever. Jarod Lucas from the Nevada Wolfpack. Welcome to the Full Court Press podcast.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. It was great to have you guys at the game the other night as well.
Yeah, I want to preface this, okay? Sam was heartbroken.
I live in Fort Collins, man. I got a story about that, though, but go ahead, LT.
Yeah, so he was heartbroken. So we're thinking, Isaiah Stevens drops a nice little 2 fade away. And I'm saying to myself, and I think it even said to Sam, and like, he's going to make it. Like 3 or 4 dribbles, bam.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of confidence to have. I'm not sure if my dad said he thought I was going to make it. But, I knew something was up when I missed 3 free throws in a row. So, I didn't know if it was going to be a half-court shot, but maybe I would have played better in overtime. Who knows? But, something was definitely off, because I missed 3 in a row long.
And I told you, we talked a little bit after the game, and with, I think it's Alex, right? Who's from Nevada Sports Network?
Alex Margulies.
Yeah, great dude. Really good dude. Shout out to him. And I actually have a video for you, a video of you, and you're kind of like this disbelief, like, did I just really miss?
Well, when was, so before we get to the half court shot, like, when was the last time you missed 3 free throws in a row?
This season, I don't think it's ever happened. Well, I told you this season that in my career, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that was. Yeah, no, I was at the while Luke was back by your locker room. I was in the post-game press conference with the Colorado State guys, and they were more surprised that you missed 3 out of your last 4 free throws down the stretch than you hitting that half-court shot. So,
wow, I mean, that's a pretty good compliment for those guys. But those guys are good guys too. Head coach Medved, he recruited me a little bit out of high school, and then Isaiah Stevens, good guy. Every time I talk to him on the court.
Yeah. Well, LT, Let me tell my quick story
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
so you were here that weekend. We did a little Mountain West tour, and then I went to the gym. That game was on Tuesday night. I went to the gym on Thursday, and there was a group of 10-year-olds in Fort Collins pretending they were you, Jarod.
Wow.
Throwing up half court shots, like saying I'm number 2 for the Wolfpack, like and then they were like pulling it up on YouTube, like trying to find that exact spot and everything. And like, I mean, what does that feel like where you got kids kind of like seeing that and imitating? I mean, obviously, I think it was the number 2 play on Sports Center that night and could have been 1, but somebody hit a further half court shot.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, but I've been fortunate, being from a small town in Southern California. I've kind of been somebody that's been looked up to a lot. Even now, when I go back home, my dad being a high school coach, there's plenty of the high school kids that still look up to me. So I know that I always have kids looking up to me. But to hear that is awesome, especially Fort Collins. I don't know how happy their parents would be to replicate that shot, especially if they're big fans. I actually just had somebody the other day from Reno who was a Colorado State fan. They had sent me a video that they had put all the news clippings from my shot on whoever their friend was, Des, who's a huge Colorado State fan. Articles on old Des that morning. So it's pretty cool to hear everybody's stories. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So Sam, he's from a small town called Hacienda Heights, California. The
man.
dude did not pass the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
He averaged 39.4. Like, did you play like midgets or something? How do you score almost 40 in a game? Your dad must really like you.
Well, I've been fortunate to throughout my whole career, I played with my same group of best friends. So it was really rare, like I mentioned, growing up with the same group of kids. So from 3rd grade, we all met each other, and there was all 7 or 8 of us. As we went to high school, my dad kind of coached us a little bit in elementary, middle school. And as we got to my senior year, or my high school, and throughout my high school, he coached us. So we had a really unique group. Still to this day, still talk to all those guys. But, kind of crazy stat for you is I'm the all-time assist leader at my high school.
No, so I was looking at your high school stats and everything, and I was like, okay, he averaged 29.4 points per game. And I was like, that's his senior season. And I was like, no, that's his career in high school. And then your senior season, you put up 39.4, and like I think you also had like 11 rebounds per game.
11.3. Yeah.
It's really a really good league. Our league wasn't the best, but we did have some other good players in there. A lot of people think that our league wasn't the best. Like my senior year, I played in Division I in Southern California, which is the 2nd highest division besides Oakland. So we won a game in the playoffs, and we lost to Damien. We had 3 Division I commits. I think they had the Idaho State kid and 2 USC kids. So they're still pretty good.
Wow. Yeah.
So I want to bring it back a couple years ago. You were playing at Oregon State, right? And I don't want to go into those years.
No, you want to ask if you ever met the First Lady, Michelle Obama.
No, I'm good. I'm maybe not, but it's like, what was it like going through that transfer process and the portal and everything? We've talked to a couple players, either, seniors or 5th-year seniors like yourself, like now that they're kind of, you're on the national spotlight right now, so, what was that transfer portal looking like? And, why did you choose Nevada during that time?
Well, at Oregon State, my freshman year, I had a pretty good year as a freshman. My sophomore year was amazing. We won the Pac-12 tournament, the Elite 8. And my junior year, the next year, we won 3 games. So it was really weird. And still to this day, that was the biggest learning lesson I've ever had. And I wouldn't be the leader that I am today if it wasn't for that year at Oregon State. A lot of people, they gave up that season. Seriously, even teammates just gave up. We only had 6 players ending the year, 6 active players that could play games towards the end of the year. We were 3-25, 3-26. We only had 6 guys. So I learned so much about myself and how I can lead a team, and I don't think I'd be able to be the leader that I am if I wasn't for that. And then when I hit the portal, I was pretty much down to Nevada and Alabama. Those are my final 2.
Oh.
And I was really stuck between the 2, and it wasn't an easy decision. As soon as I committed to Nevada, that next morning I woke up and I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision. I wasn't sure. And wow.
Hey, don't worry. As you get older, you're going to say that to yourself every day of your life.
You know what? And now I've been so blessed to be able to be here in Reno, and University of Nevada is the best. play for Coach Alfred.
Yeah. What is it like playing for Coach Alfred? I mean, he's your prototypical. If you've ever been to Indiana, there's like 3,000 shrines of Coach Alfred. How is he as a shooter still? And how is he as a coach? Because he's got a pretty so funny story. I actually got my first TV job in Iowa, and I had to cover Iowa football and Iowa basketball. Well, guess who the coach for Iowa basketball was? Your head coach.
No.
And Coach Alfred always wasn't the warm and fuzziest.
Yeah.
In his younger, I mean, he was pretty damn intimidating, and I told him that. But how is he as a coach? Is it cool that having a coach that's been there and done that? I mean, he's won a national championship, 2-time All-American, one of the best shooters probably in Indiana history. I mean, what is that like having him as a coach on the sidelines?
I think it's unique and it's rare. And, you mentioned it. Coach played for Coach Bobby Knight, and he's taught us so many different things of the discipline and how maybe not to the extent that Coach Knight did some things, but still does a really good job coaching us. And then me as a shooter, scorer that I am, I've learned so much from him just because, like you mentioned, he's done everything at the highest level. And one of the cooler things that I've always found, and Amir just showed me a picture today, his coach played with Michael Jordan. He was on the
84 Olympic team. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's so many cool things that I've learned, and I don't think I could have developed as a player without learning from a guy like him. I think me and him have some similar capabilities. I know that Coach is one of the best shooters ever, so I hate to compare him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Sam, let me just ask him something. Have you ever seen Coach throw a chair? Have you ever seen him throw a chair before?
Oh, no. No, I haven't. No, Coach has gotten mad. I've never seen a chair thrown, though.
Yeah. That's probably a good thing.
We talked a little about your coach. Like, you mentioned your dad a little bit. Give a shout out to him. I mean, Jeff Lucas, and what he's meant to you got basketball in your DNA. You can just tell. You're a hype guy on the court. You got a lot of energy. It seems like you know where to be on every given play. Like, what are some of the kind of things that your dad taught you and that you kind of bring you to the best each day?
Well, my dad played at the University of Hawaii. He's been a basketball coach now. I believe this is year 30 at our high school. I went to the same high school as him. His parents and grandpa and grandma both still live in Hacienda Heights. So I've learned a lot from him, and even my shooting style. A lot of times, many times we're in the gym for hours, just trying to focus on little things. But as I've gotten older, he's kind of let me do my own thing. And then I think my intensity definitely doesn't come from him. My dad is real quiet,
Really?
real quiet to himself, and my mom's the one that's kind of crazy.
She's a firecracker, isn't she? She's a firecracker.
She's the one that brings the intensity, and when it comes to that, I got it from her. She's if you see her in the stands, you'll probably hear her too. Yeah, she goes.
Yeah, no, it was fun to watch you in person because you see stuff in person that you don't get to see in TV, right? And I mean, you definitely kind of have that swagger on the court. It seems like you welcome that, especially at away games and.
Especially after the game when he drops his shot and he's throwing up the dub and stuff like that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, man, where's my camera?
I know. But so you're tied for second in the Mountain West for scoring per game right now at 17.5. In the last
don't pass the ball, shoot more. Don't pass the ball, shoot more.
Last 7 games, you've turned it on. 19 points, 21, 23, 20, 19, 18, 19. What's happening like this last stretch of your senior season?
I think I've kind of found a feel or a groove where it just comes from a lot of times setting up screens. Coach spends a lot of time with me and my ability to set up screens, set up cuts. And I feel like I've just been able to get adjusted a little better. I think early in the year, I was kind of not forcing things, but I wasn't setting up cuts. I was speeding things up. And as I've been able to watch film, I'm able to slow things down. And it also helps when you play a team the second time, I can look and go, okay, hey, Isaiah Stevens guarded me like this when he guarded me. That's just an example. Or Miles Bird from San Diego State, when he guarded me, shot the gap a lot of times on threes. So make sure to bounce out or slow things down coming off curls. So it's just been little things.
Yeah. And then you guys are playing so well. Are you guys going to welcome back Keenan Blackshear? I mean, he doesn't really need to play anymore, right?
No. We still need Keenan. It makes us so versatile now that Hunt's playing tremendous basketball for us. And once you get into the mix, then you have another threat. So once again, as a team and as a player who's made a deep run in March, everybody says it. You got to play your best basketball in March, and I think we're doing that.
Mhm.
Right.
So you got senior night coming up this Saturday. You know, you're going to be celebrated along with Keenan, Hunter, and Daniel Foster, I believe, as well.
Yes.
You know, you just put a blemish on Boise State's senior night. And so now you got to kind of protect your own home court here, you know, coming up on Saturday. Like, what are the emotions going into that senior night with some of those guys?
You know, it is going to be easy. I know there's going to be some tears shed for me, for sure. Just because how Reno has done for me, and then especially Coach Alford and playing with my teammates. But you know, we're facing a really good UNLV team, so we know we can't overlook them. And then there's also the chance if maybe New Mexico beats Utah State, who knows? It could be a Mountain West championship game between the in-state rival. So it does get much better than that. The stakes don't get any higher than that either. So it should be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, coming down to the wire. I mean, you guys won 6 in a row. UNLV's won 5 in a row. So I mean, that's going to be a battle on Saturday, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
LT, what do you think?
I think we're ready for them.
You think we're ready? All right.
Let's do it.
So Jarod, we do a little game here to finish off. You know, it's LT's going to rattle off like 6-7 questions. First thing that comes to mind, just let it rip, man. Whether it's one word, one sentence, one story, whatever comes to mind, we'll have some fun with it. LT, let's go.
All right, let's rock and roll here, okay? Because I don't want to make you late for lifting. Because when I was in college, if you didn't show up for lifting or were late, you had to clean the next day 5 in the morning with a toothbrush. That never happened with me. Okay, what is the nickname from your childhood that a family member maybe gave you that you didn't like?
I don't think I have one that I didn't like, but Jarod is one that my grandpa always called me, Jarod.
Okay, Jarod. Most memorable college game, or actually most memorable any game?
Most memorable any game, I'd say in the Sweet 16, we beat Loyola Chicago with Oregon State. That was
nice. Yep, nice. Favorite college arena or atmosphere to play in?
Arizona, McHale Center.
Ooh. Favorite college class?
Favorite college class? I had a yoga class. It was honestly my favorite because I learned about yoga. I know it's not much. I know it's a little different, but I never really did yoga until then. So I liked my yoga class.
Yeah. My least favorite college class was archery and games. The damn bow would always scrape my inside. All right. Whose cafeteria is better, Nevada or Oregon State, and why?
Nevada, because at Oregon State we didn't have any name brand places in there. It was just kind of places that were like pop-up places. It wasn't
okay.
And then here we have Habit, a bunch of good places, Panda. So yeah.
Okay. Nevada. Yeah, you also have bats in your arena supposedly. Who leads the team in personal fouls?
Oh, KJ Himes.
Is he right?
2.7 fouls a game.
All right, there we go.
You were the first teammate to ever get right.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. All right. So which teammate, let's talk about your teammates a little bit. Which teammate would be the first to be late to class?
I don't know if I could put any names out there. I think all of our guys are pretty good getting on time. We never have an issue.
Give me one.
If I had to say one, maybe Tyler Powell, but even Tyler Powell's not late either. So
okay. Which teammate is the funniest?
The funniest? I would have to say Tylen Pope. It's a pretty funny guy.
Okay. Which teammate would have the worst pickup lines?
Jazz Gardner.
That was quick, man.
Is he also the worst dancer?
Yeah. Jazz is a little nerdy guy, but I got to give him some love. He went to the same high school as me, so.
I love
Okay. So you're playing a pickup game with only Mountain West players, and you got to pick 4, and none of them can be your teammates.
Okay.
Who's your Mountain West starting 5? And hopefully you pick yourself.
I can pick myself, or I can't.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Okay, yeah. I'm going myself. Jaden Ledee, Isaiah Hill from Fresno, and then Neat Clifford, Colorado State. And I need one more. I need a decent wing. I'm trying to think of another pretty good wing. Oh, man. Trav, give me a wing. Oh, Degenhart. I like Degenhart, too.
Degenhart,
yeah.
Or no, actually, no. Change that. Buzo. Another shooter on the court. Buzo.
Okay. Oh, nice.
You guys are spreading the court pretty well with that lineup, man.
Yeah. Yeah, not many rebounds and only one basketball to shoot, but that's okay. Song that best describes you.
All In by Lil Baby. I love that song.
All right, and there's a two-part. The song that best describes Coach Alford.
I named one of his old school songs. I don't know anything that describes him. Any old school song, probably for him.
Okay.
Off the top.
Okay, you won nothing, you got nothing, and you threw half your team under the bus. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, Jarod, we're going to turn it over to you, man. Anything you want to share to the Wolfpack faithful, boosters, alumni, student section? You guys are on a hot run right now, going into conferences ending this Saturday. You got a sold out stadium coming up on Saturday. Anything you want to share with them? I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Well, I just want to thank our fans, especially the Wolves Den, our student section. They've done a tremendous job all year, and to the Reno community, thanks for having me. I take a lot of pride wearing the Nevada across my chest. So go Pack.
Yep. It sounds like he just made a NBA declaration. He's not coming back.
I don't think he can, man.
All eligibility's done. 5 years are over.
Jarod, we're big fans of what you guys are doing over there, and good luck the rest of the season, man. We'll be cheering for you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Cheers, man. Why you got to be like that? So that was a really fun and exciting episode. What a great kid. And he really knew, he was the first guy I've met. So I'm kind of putting a rotation of questions in. And he was the first one that picked the right teammate for fouls, and he didn't even hesitate. And then he also didn't hesitate who has the worst pickup lines and the worst dancer.
Yeah. He gave some good shout outs to his guys, man. But
absolutely.
I like that question about who has the most personal fouls on the team, because it's, everybody knows who has the most points, who has the most rebounds, who has the most assists and everything like that. But it's, he knows his team. It was fun. That was a fun interview, man. What a good dude. Yeah,
and we got to meet him. I got to meet him a little bit more because you were in the or I got to meet him. You didn't get to meet him in person. You were with Colorado State. We got a shout out there kind of indirectly. But no, I got a photo with him. What a nice kid. Nevada, it was awesome to be back there, and in their little visitor locker room, they're going nuts, and it's just a great, that energy was awesome. That game, I'm going to tell you, I've been in a lot of basketball games, or been to and been in, or, whatever. And that atmosphere was electric, especially that last minute when you kind of saw last 5 or 6 minutes, when you saw, like you said, Colorado State won the last 5 or 6 minutes, when you saw them kind of just something turned on, and it just then Isaiah Stevens hits that fadeaway that I put on Instagram. People are going nuts. And then I just had this weird feeling, and he drained it. That was, and then just I love after the game throwing up the dubs to the Colorado State fans. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's, you talk about games that those guys are going to remember forever, and that's one of them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that in an away arena, against a team like Colorado State,
yep.
It's, props to Jarod. He missed 3 free throws in a row, which, I think he was a 92% free throw shooter before that. And then to be able to still have the confidence to put up that shot and make it. And again, like we said in the pre-interview segment, his IQ is off the charts. He knows where he's supposed to be, all that stuff. And it's, you have a guy like that shooting the ball, your odds increase. I don't care if it's half court or 3/4 of a shot. There's just a special type of guys like him that you want the ball in his hands those last 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Mountain West is still, you got some teams kind of faltering. Utah State's looking really good. Nevada's looking good. New Mexico is a great team. Colorado State's been struggling a little bit, but they're a great team. And, Isaiah Stevens, who we had on the podcast, is a great kid, great guy. And he just needs to just take over because he can. Same with Nick Clifford and stuff like that. Were you kind of interested to kind of name his little, like not as little, but his kind of his squad for pickup if you picked the all Mountain West team?
That's a pretty dynamic offensive team.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Jaden Ledie's putting up like 21 points a game right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not sure you need a rebounder on that team.
Yeah. Well, you got to have somebody. You got to have a 4-and-1 kind of,
Sure.
4 on the 3-point line and one guy just,
there's not a whole lot of dudes missing on that squad. That he
No.
No.
So I thought that was good. I mean, it's next week is going to be Selection Sunday. We're going to do a live show. It looks like 9 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Mountain West, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. What is that? Pacific. So hopefully we'll have some of these guys, maybe Jared Lucas or, a Keenan Blackshire or Steve Alford or some other. We're going to have some good guests, and it'll be interesting to see. Like, I can't believe, like, for a month from now, the season will be over. Isn't that crazy? A month from now.
I know. Not yet. I think the final is April 8th. So
okay, so 32 days. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
We'll be together to end it.
Here's the thing. It's like we're coming down to the wire of one of the most exciting seasons that I can remember.
Yeah.
And we've had some great guests this year. Like Jarod, a lot of appreciation for those guys. You're doing a great job lining up everybody, and shout out to the SIDs you're working with.
Trevor, we met Trevor from Nevada. Trevor from Nevada. He does it all.
He does do it all, man.
He does it all, man. That's our guy.
What a good guy.
Yeah, what a great guy.
But yeah, great interview with Jarod. And if you haven't watched Nevada play this year, check them out. They got a really big game on Saturday, senior night, against UNLV, who's won 5 in a row. Everybody, like, there's 3 or 4 teams battling still for that Mountain West regular season championship. So it's going to be a good game. Yep.
So don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Where else are we? Facebook. Where else are we going to be?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's growing up. I'm going to put some more shorts on there and stuff like that. And so we'll see you next week. I don't know how many. It's always funny. It's like how many episodes are you going to post next week? And could be 2, could be 3, could be 26, and then we'll get after it for the NCAA tournament. So, all right, peace out from the Full Court Press Podcast, a college basketball
experience. Let's get it, LT.
Experience.
Mm-hmm.